Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
And everything to have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
What grade?
That one had to go.
Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Welcome, gentlemen, and welcome to All In, All United. I swear this team could be, I don't want to say it, but it determined, and I don't know what I mean, right? We went to Liverpool when they were in the mud, and we gave them life, that we allowed them to build confidence on all kind of thing, right? We do it what year it was when Liverpool was out of Europe, and we just needed to not let them win when they play against us, and we let them back in and they made it into Europe, right? All we needed today, I believe, was one more goal, and I feel that stadium in Tottenham would I get empty because them fans was booing off them players at halftime.
Blame Bruno.
But no, we had to come out in the second half and play like bam bams. And now, perhaps Spurs, have a lifeline and they go kick on and they might win the league.
Nah, that's happening.
No, I've been ridiculous for a reason because why we just keep doing this kind of thing? No, this is the second time in 2 weeks Manchester United has let a 2-0 lead at halftime slip and draw the game 2-2. Right? You have City and Newcastle crowing teams, and we strolling around in the park with 2-0 leads.
I don't know if y'all know, but we have 0 away wins in the top 9 team against the top 9 teams this season.
I don't know. I just find, we just go sour after hour, right? And then capitulate. We just go sour after hour. That is the max again from this team.
What? The only positive is that some of these players are going to expose themselves, and Ten Hag is not having that come next season. He's not, right? As Ten Hag was appointed, he knows that there's no such thing as favoritism. You either play at Man United or you play somewhere else. That's how Ten Hag sees it, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. So, fellas, how? Where's he seeing?
Yeah. We're not 2-0 felt good. Spurs look ripe for at least 5. And then the second half, you sort of feel Sevilla all over again. Sevilla first thing all over again. So I just got deja vu. The Sevilla, back to Sevilla. And yeah, I think even, sometimes I have some feelings that a player might feel that, oh Lord, I feel we're going back to this. And they went back, in the mind, they went back to Sevilla and we let 2 points drop. But still, I think we into the top 4. Don't want to get complacent, but I still think we strong for the top 4. As much as we have some tough games coming up, I think the top 4 is still off to mess up, and I hope that we don't do.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up because that was one of the talking points for this evening, So I guess Simeon and Phil could follow in on that point Nico make, are they have any concerns over, the top 4 place? I mean, remember we out of the Europa League. So, is this on or bus, eh? Right, top 4 bus, because we're not in the Europa League anymore. Go ahead, Simeon.
As soon as the game over, the first thing I did was look at the table. The first thing I did. I'm like, how many games can we win? How many games can we not lose? Not lose, because the way they're playing is like there's no real conviction, no real solid person in there driving the team to win. I feel like ever since Martinez went out, I kind of lost a lot of confidence in his team. I think he was the heart of this team, and when he left, a lot of it, then we blame Maguire for a lot. Maguire makes mistakes, but Martinez wasn't just didn't make mistakes. He drove the team, to win. He had a heart. He had a solid. You know, he was kind of like the. I feel like the engine of this team went out when he went off. Like look at Casemiro. He ain't Casemiro anymore. Bruno. He tried Ericsson. Like I feel like as soon as a team get their head up, we just melt. I was watching this team play first half. I was like, God said this team wasn't going to do anything after that Sevilla game. I was like, am I wrong? But then I watched Tottenham. Tottenham head was down. They weren't really playing well. They weren't really in it. But as soon as they got in it, we just melted. And that's the sad part. It's like as soon as they got going, we just kind of like, melted. And that's the hard part. I mean, you look at that team. I mean, he lose all confidence because Tottenham is the worst. But I mean, in the all league, mentality wise, you were the worst team. Who worse than Tottenham now in the league?
Chelsea.
Nobody.
Chelsea, yeah, but Chelsea, I feel what, like.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
I've been honest with you,
Chelsea
right?
League are own, yeah.
Okay.
No, but I still feel Chelsea will come and get points. We will get them points. That's how we operate. We rub it out.
Exactly, like that's why now you look at the schedule and you say no. It's almost no team besides Chelsea. You could say, well, as bad as they are, there's hardly any team. The only good thing we have going for us for the rest of the year is home field advantage. That's the only good thing we have as far as most of the
Yeah. Let me get some comments before I come to Phil, right? Aaron on the inside, good night, man. Thanks for joining, buddy. Kid and Niles on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining, man. JP on the inside as well, good night. He's saying curse of the League Cup.
Yeah, boy.
Kaden also saying here, this team was on the beach in the first half. We allowed Spurs too many opportunities to score in the first half. Just
The first
they
half or
didn't
the
take
second
their
half?
chance. No, he right. In the first half.
In the
as
first
well.
half too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea.
First half,
Right,
I think we had a strong first half, man.
Nah, we should have finished. We should have finished that first half at least. A good
Yeah,
score up,
yeah,
a good
the
score up.
second-
We were the ones that probably chances in the first half.
The second half is the
I
one
didn't see
where,
much. I didn't see the chances when they crossed the ball across the face of the goal and nobody was. They created a lot of chances in the first half.
Yeah, but that was not like what they created second half. Second half they
No,
created
was more clear cut. Yeah, more clear cut.
clearly. Yeah.
We let them back in the game and in the second half. Yeah, the second half was chaos. Right. He also saying here this team too complacent in full caps. Today sloppy and lazy passing to the position when Spurs had the ball. Christopher on the inside, thanks for joining, man. Good night to you guys. Don't forget to like and share the podcast, right? Newcastle still have points to drop.
Yep.
I listen, I hear you, but when you're faith in your own hands and you're dropping points like these, right? I don't care about Newcastle. You also saying here we are just 2 points behind with a game in hand. Yeah, but this should be outer. Our aspirations are to finish as high as possible, right? And when you're dropping points like these, third place, right, seeming further and further away. I'm looking at Arsenal fixtures as well. Them could even drop off and we could even push for second, but we like to play with food, right?
If so, I don't know if you finished the comment stream, but I did a calculation after yesterday's game with regards to how much points we need to catch Arsenal. If memory serves me correct, before today's game, it was 16 points, right? If we had to win all of our games until the end of the season, I think that's 21 points. So the difference between 21 and 16 is 5. So we are, bearing in mind Arsenal keep on slipping, we are allowed to drop maybe 1 or 2 points. And I guess today was the first point that we dropped. I don't want to drop no more, right? But today felt like a loss. Today was, you just bring on those 4 substitutions. I'm like, okay, fair enough, but none of the 4 substitutions
Made an impact.
They did jack shit. And I'm like, wait, what the hell? Whitehorse, Fred, Malacia.
No, Fred was the worst.
Yeah, Fred was the worst. Oh Lord, I know. And as
I
I
But
know,
the thing about Fred, right, is anybody at the point in time when the ball went up for Fred, anybody had an issue with Fred? Even before the
Of
game, I was
course
seeing
not.
people saying, before the game, I was seeing people were saying that probably Fred should start out ahead of Ericsson. So it's like you don't know what Fred, boy. Fred will give
Yeah.
you a good game now, and then tomorrow he gonna make you regret. You
but
ever
that,
say
that
nice thing
that's the
about this
thing.
man, boy?
We don't need those types of players in our squad. If you roll back the years to when we had Jason Park,
Mm.
Jason Park would give us one bad game every maybe 15 games or something like that. That's the type of players
Yeah.
we need in our squad, right? At the end of the day, we could sing past the Fred this and past the Fred that, and MUT. We can interview this as to why we call him past this and past that. But being that inconsistent, we don't need this in this team. We don't.
I
yeah,
feel I feel Ten Hag tell really right to Fred or tell him that yeah what I think he has surplus requirement in the summer, and because all the time Fred was playing, and all of a sudden Fred can't get a game,
Yeah.
and he now kind of bringing him back into the team. I feel something happened behind the scene, but I feel Ten Hag tell him hey we looking to replace you. I doubt it. You know what I mean? I doubt it, but still I find Fred fall off too much, but.
But what
In terms of in terms of in terms
the
of
worst
playing
part?
time, that is in terms of playing time.
What's even the worst part is Fred normally does well coming off the bench.
Yeah,
You look
Yeah.
at Fred
Yeah.
during this season when Christian Eriksen was always playing with Bruno and Casemiro, and you bring on Fred. Fred always like
yeah.
gives his all and he does well. He may get a goal every now and then, but today the guy was absolute shit, boy. My lord.
I
Yeah.
mean, but look at Malacia. Like Malacia, I loved Malacia when he first got here.
He fall
Like,
off bad
he
too,
had
boy.
speed.
The
He
Lord.
confidence, take a hit since that Sevilla game.
Boy,
See that Sevilla game?
Sevilla
Massive.
boy, Lord.
Because
That
you all know,
Sevilla.
you all know, right? As Simeon mentioned Malacia there. All you know, he was kind of responsible for the second goal
he was
Spurs
nowhere to be
scoring.
found, man. Nowhere
I
to
don't
be
know
found.
where he was going, and he leave Harry Kane. And Harry Kane, I know, is a very intelligent because he drift to Malacia because he know Malacia is a weak link, you know.
But that's how Malacia was in the Sevilla game as well too. Malacia was always leaving their right side free, and with as well too. And I'm like, Malacia, read the game, read the
Yeah.
game, bruv. My lord.
Let me just get your comments here. Christopher saying here should have been 3 points, but we can't dwell on it. Well, for tonight and then tomorrow, we will look forward to Aston Villa. All right.
Yeah,
Kaden
we
saying
got
here
to play Aston Villa this weekend.
Yeah. And the high flying, eh? We'll talk about him at the end. Right? Kaden saying your positioning when Spurs had the ball was poor and some of the substitutes was terrible. That Ericsson for Fred, Wegs for Anthony, put Bruno wide when he bossed in the midfield. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
But I think Ten Hag had comments on that, eh? So we'll see if we could get some of Ten Hag comments based on the changes. Right? Javid on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying complacency, popping in to say that. I'm going again on professional second half. Thanks, man. JP saying here, Spurs was absolute trash in the first half. We don't have that killer instinct. We should be able to smell blood and go for the jugular. We should kill off this game in the first half. Yeah, we should have killed. Yeah. Ah boy, and you're seeing Newcastle boying Everton in the next game ever, and we playing with we food. Kaden saying here Newcastle have points to drop. You all need to see Isaac assist. That team not slowing down. Right? Well, he laughing at he kind of laughing at the comment. Yeah. Kurt on the inside. Kurt, thanks for joining, man. He's saying imagine City 2 points behind Arsenal with 2 games in hand. Yeah, you know why, right, Kurt? Because City don't play. Right, City don't play. And thanks for joining, man. JP saying here, we've seen it now, how we really overachieving with this team. This shows how much work needs to be done in this summer. All we could hope is that Ten Hag get it back anyway. Cave on the inside, good night, buddy. Thanks for joining. He's saying Fred form has dropped off compared to how he massively contributed this past year. Yeah. Kaden saying here Ericsson have to stay starting. Only problem with him is he's not physical and not defensive and can't play 90 minutes, but his vision, he can pass the ball, takes care of the ball. Fred can't even pass. Ten Hag subs backfired today. We've praised him for subs in the past, but today the subs contributed nothing.
Agreed.
Can't disagree with that at all now.
Yeah.
That that Kane performance making me think, yeah, we could talk about Kane. I have Kane on the agenda, right? Anybody who watch that game today and observe Kane, see what that man bringing, eh? That man make that Spurs team look good. Good saying here, that Bruno miss, yeah, boy.
But
Ooh.
that Bruno miss made me sick. Don't get my chair at
Jeez.
work, boy. I said, "Good Lord,
Yeah,
Bruno, you
boy.
can't be
Oh,
serious."
gosh, boy, Bruno,
That would have
boy.
that would have been potential, not goal
That
of the
was game
season,
win.
but
That was game winner. That was
But
it. That was it.
it
no,
wasn't
but
That would have
it
that's
been.
what I
wasn't a goal of the
crung.
season, but at least maybe top 10.
That's what I crung off a very good
Yeah.
performance from
I would
Bruno
have I would have
Fernandes
run
today.
both my office if that a score, but Bruno decided he had other plans, right? So
Yeah.
That's the passes in the goal. You know? Simple as that. You know?
my post from 7.5 yards out, boy. But Bruno, you still injured, yeah.
Keep saying here we gotta play Unai Emery's Aston Sevilla. Sevilla Real. If they win 3 points behind us, wow. So you see how this thing starting to real mess up that table.
Yeah.
We
That's
can't play.
that's man. 3 words there. Severe Real.
Yeah.
Mm.
Could say here must admit Newcastle really bossing it, and to think they didn't buy much players, was battling relegation last season, oil money. And to be honest with you, I find them really go on and spend like how City
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
spend the oil money in that. Their natural evolution, it's really impressive. It's impressive. You understand? David Curtin on the inside, thanks for joining, man. So fellas, we had to talk about Casemiro. Right now we praise Casemiro, and we just always say on this show, you do well, we praise you. If you're impressed, we're gonna talk about that negative aspect of your game. Olio, where's the real scene with Casemiro? Because I really can't say is tiredness. I really can't say because Casemiro missed 4 or 5 games. Casemiro missed apart from probably Martial and the others who injured, Casemiro missed the most of our games in the midfield. Right? Casemiro just recently came back from a lengthy suspension. So I don't know if injury is the issue. But earlier Casemiro been poor. Today was our next day. Casemiro rushing the football, he giving away the ball. He very, very responsible for plenty of turnovers in the team today and putting our team under pressure. And earlier I've been honest with you, it's not today it happened. It happened plenty against in the FA Cup. It happened against Sevilla home and away. Happened against Nottingham Forest. Since Casemiro's return, he has not looked his old self earlier. Where's he seeing Casemiro?
There's no competition on the bench for Casemiro.
Well,
But who's the competition? At the end of the day, when the summer comes, you gotta talk names like Declan Rice, Caicedo, Ruben Neves. But in terms of Casemiro's form drop, not Casemiro, sorry, Casemiro's form dropping. I don't want to say he's getting a bit incompetent because I mean Casemiro kind of knows that his place in the starting 11 is cemented. So I mean, yeah.
But then Phil, right? When you and probably Simeon or Nico could pick up on this, right? But when you're talking about when we talk about Casemiro, we praise Casemiro, we talk about his elite mentality. The man win Champions Leagues, even different trophies with Real Madrid. So you really think as a player with that kind of experience, mentality, that that go really be an issue that he do a competition. That's why he form drop. Because I myself trying to put my finger on why Casemiro playing so poorly, why what's going on.
He's hold, he
It's on
hold,
the floor.
he definitely holds on to the football way too much. Way too much. Like when he pulls off, he reminded me a bit of like Bruno last season. It start off really hot. You pull off these passes and make these tackles that get the crowd going, and then you're the headlines in the newspapers. But then you fall off so bad. There are times when this last year, obviously, and sometimes this year as well to the season, when Bruno was holding on to the football a bit too much, and when he gets the ball taken away from him, he goes to ground quickly and hoping the ref would give like the other team like a card or a blow the fall or something like that, right? But Casemiro, yeah. once you can put in a stellar performance in the FA Cup final, you're allowed to drop off a little bit, but you still gotta give us at least a 6.57 on the 10 performance. Right now his performances are subpar.
Yeah.
Julian, go ahead now.
No, I mean, like the thing is, it's not just you look back to like old regimes, like when United like buy a player, like they'll come in, they'll look good, like Bruno, like you said, they'll come in, look good for like half a season, and afterwards they'll start playing like down to those around them, and starting to worry,
Oh wow.
starting to worry. I thought that was that those days were past and gone, but like. I don't want to say Casemiro's doing that, but it's starting to look like that more and more each game because like, I mean, what other reasons could it be? It's not just like he can't tackle. I mean, we know the cards and stuff, but like his offense has just fallen off too. It was a time when Casemiro played and he had a chance he's scoring. Casemiro used to score for us. Remember that? When we down, Casemiro would be the one right up and down the field, scoring goals. Pulling the guys together. Going to the crowd. I mean, Casemiro was that guy, and he is a shell of himself right now. It's just kind of depressing to watch, and it's like when we went from being whispering about title chances when he played well to like praying we stick into top four when he plays like that. I mean, his performance fell off so bad that right now we just are struggling. I mean, in the midfield, I mean, Bruno is running midfield right now. We used to say Casemiro, in midfield. Bruno is the guy that's holding it down, right now. I don't know I have no idea. Hopefully somebody else could say what Casemiro is doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think Casemiro is more or less a downfall of himself if we look at what he brought to the team from since he got into the team. I think he brought in out of stellar performances. And I guess, that was the yardstick he brought, and that what we measured him at. And he's definitely not at that level, right? But as well, I know our midfield was in a mess, for the last 5, 6, 7 seasons maybe. Our midfield was in a total mess. So for me, Casemiro into the team, as long as Casemiro there, I just feel good. I get something better than we was getting before. So I'm not too critical on Casemiro. Also, in terms of coming into a new league, I think that in itself, as much as we may say other players doing it, I think Casemiro had a big World Cup as well. When he came into the team, United in itself is not an easy team to play for. As much as they play for Real Madrid, won whatever titles, I think, at some point you might have seen a drop in form. As much as he didn't play much games, you might have seen that. Hopefully, as Phil say, he come out to give you 100% for the FA Cup final and really get a rest and come back, fit and raring next season because
we might need like 2 games right now. We can't wait for FA Cup. We need like 2 more games like right now. We can't wait.
Yeah.
Like,
But let me hope Ericsson pick up some form, Bruno pick up some form and drag him across the line. Because the Premier League in itself is not an easy league. And sometimes players, everybody's different, and sometimes players take a while to really adjust. To entire season of Premier League. Maybe that is what Casemiro going through. I don't know, but hopefully, I mean, his team members drag him across the line. You charge them batteries, and next season he come back, really fully equipped, to handle the entire 38. In fact, how much games he play? 50 game season.
Yeah, 50 something,
Entire 50 game season.
You
But
are-
playing for United and the amount of games we have been playing is a lot.
You're talking about some players need a full season to adjust to a league, and I gotta agree to disagree because you want to know who else you want to know who else needs a first season to adjust to their first time in the Premier League. Erling Haaland.
No, that's about every player different. every player different. I think Erling Haaland, the support staff behind Erling Haaland, won't allow him to fail. I think the support staff around Casemiro, it way different. We depended on Ericsson, who hasn't been fully fit. Bruno, who at times has been headless. We depending on Lindelof now, Shaw now, make up centre back, and he more or less having to cover for, players who not good, players who out of position. So I think he did a lot. But I think, maybe in next season we see the better or a more consistent Casemiro.
I think what's important too is the fact that we need quality options. So to bridge it now, because if you see these levels dropping in Casemiro, then you're just bringing somebody else to make it seamless. But we do have nobody else, so Casemiro just had to steady and rough it out now, and hope that he could get better while he playing. But I don't know if this is a factor, but Varane and Martinez not there. So I just going on the assumption probably he have a different role to play now, whereby he not allowed to express himself how we first saw him doing it. Because I mean we were talking about in the earlys, how Casemiro kind of reshaped how we was thinking our number 6 was supposed to play, because Casemiro was so involved in attack. Casemiro looking more box to box than a holding player. But now you see him kind of holding his line. So I don't know if the fact that, Varane and Martinez not there, on top of that, he having to adjust his game because he's now a target for the referees. So I don't know if it's all them things playing on his mind, and the adjustment to how he had to play now is what have him struggling. I don't know if it's that, but he fall off bad. And I agree with Nico, from what he has given. He had plenty credit in the bank, so, but I mean, it's almost costing us now, because we do have that kind of steel and quality oozing from him like we saw before. And hopefully, the rest might be it. I don't know. Let me hear what the comments have to say, all right? David Curtin saying here, 1/2 United, yeah, boy. How I play the earlies? When we just seem to get sour after hour. All right. Kieran saying here, would you all be talking about the takeover? We have it to talk about, right? Phil doing his research, so yeah. Kurt saying here, them fellas mental in a mess, boy. Casemiro all of a sudden seen as the second leader behind Bruno, but something off with the team right now. I mean, no excuses there, but I really think, as Nico say, you see that amount of games, boy, I feel it's starting to tell her. Kaden saying here, those injustice red cards playing with him mentally, yeah, and he is inconsistent for the past games. Hopefully that stops. Yeah, let me hope so. JP saying here, I know he missed a few games but the pace of the EPL different. Could it be the pace catching up to him? Also a very, very interesting thing, and I think Nico, you had mentioned that as well, right? Keep saying here, nah man, Newcastle brought like 10 players over the last 3 windows, but they bought well. Almost every player added to what they have, and they've gotten better. It makes me wonder why we can't scout and spend.
Botman, Dan Bruno, Isaac, Joe Willock.
This guy from Everton.
Adam
Gordon.
Gordon.
I don't know how much of an impact he making on that team though.
I think
trust me, it may not be a big impact, but just having a player that quality there as an option, it is helped by you. And he's a good option.
Nick Pope as well.
Nick Pope.
Kieran Trippier. Target. Joe Linton.
Joe Linton was there a while. Yeah. He was there
a while. Well, at least we named 9 just now, so man could be onto something, yeah.
And even to improve the players who were there as well, because men like what's his name, Longstaff or Shortstaff, he looking at player, I mean, I ain't gonna take him, but he looking at player. Alright? This fella too, Almiron.
Yeah.
Right? The guy from Arsenal, who they buy? What's his name again?
Joe Willock.
Willock, he are now looking,
Yeah,
proper.
well,
This the next Murphy fella who scored 2 against
yeah,
Spurs.
Jacob Murphy, yeah.
Jacob Murphy, yeah.
Mm.
Um, it's Curtin being tongue in cheek here. Bring back Scott, right? Just like bring back
Good.
Fred. And then when they come back,
Yeah, it's
disaster
rubbish.
classes, yeah. Keep saying I don't like to talk so sure about grown men's mentality, but he looked checked out since returning. Yeah, I wonder if it had anything to do with the refereeing. I must feel targeted or like a victim. Yeah, with the poor officiating, and that could be a
Yeah,
factor as well.
yeah.
All right. JP saying here, would Haaland have been scoring all these goals in a United jersey? That's a very, very good question.
Put De Bruyne in a United jersey now, and I would say yeah.
Yeah. Kevin kept saying here Chris Wood, but Chris Wood going he leave Newcastle. I think he with Forest now, but he injured. Yeah. So fellas, let me look at the game in a little more detail. I know we've all watched the game, and we watch it with a kind of analytical eye. So what are 2 things, that you would have learned from the performance and the result today? Nico, you'll start you off?
2 things from the performance today. It's definitely the subs. I think the substitutions it didn't help. I think the role Fred came on to play. I'm not even sure, because if he's supposed to bring energy, because at that point at the game when Fred came onto the field, we was lacking energy. Tottenham had the momentum in the game, and Fred at times come on and he would swing it back for us. He would sort of win possession, get the ball going forward, get the opposition defending, and he did the opposite today. So definitely that is one thing we have learned today, that the subs used to work for us in the past. They haven't been working for the last few games. That is definitely one. Additionally, again, subs again, subs again, because even Marcel, when he came on, when you're thinking that Marcel would have came on and give us a spark, we didn't get a spark either. We didn't get, that hold up from Martial today, which would have taken the pressure off of the team. We didn't feel that today, So again, I think that way we really lost it, because 2-1, I was still thinking that 2-1 Spurs applying a bit of pressure, but I think we could hold it out. But I think the subs didn't give us the energy and the intensity, the ability to hold up the play, change the football, put Spurs under pressure. They didn't do that today, So I think that is where we more or less drew the game today and lost 2 points.
Yeah. Phil?
This may sound bad, but I didn't learn anything today. I kind of know what some of these players are limited of doing. Some of the things that the players did, I know already. Knowing our away record this season, I know already. So I didn't learn anything today. So sorry.
Yeah, fair. Simeon?
Just, I mean, like Phil, like Phil said, I know we kind of struggled, even though we scored 2 goals today. Overall, we struggled to score. Sancho got a nice play, got a nice shot off. Rashford does, got a nice little counter attack and scored. But no, we struggled to score. But it's Tottenham, so before they got up for the game, so we struggled to score and we struggled to defend. I would say we not, I could say, well, it's after most of the subs, but we still struggle to defend. We're not as good defending as we used to be. So that means, if going forward, there's not any factor of our game we can depend on. Because Tottenham didn't really look to get the ball, to possess the ball, so it wasn't really a contest of possession. So nothing today was really a revelation. What got to me today was Ten Hag and his subs. We could say, we could say he doesn't have a good bench, But the way he's making his subs now and becoming a pattern, like it looking like, and all this looks wrong. Like when he brought, he took out Basaka and brought in Dalot, he moved Dalot to the right side from last year. Like he changed a whole bunch of stuff. He moved Bruno from the midfield to the right side. A whole bunch of his moves, and they all didn't work out and actually made things worse. And it's kind of like that. That's the only thing I really learned today is like, do I have to worry about Ten Hag's, subs? And did he have a choice? Like, did he have a choice to bring in something better? Was his hands tied behind his back? Did he have to bring on Weghorst? Like, what's the point of bringing on Weghorst? I mean, stuff like that. I wonder, like, why? I mean, I'm sure might have a comment somewhere, but for me, not being able to not have that trust like I did before with Ten Hag and his changes, that is what kind of bugging me today.
Yeah. If I could just touch on something that you said just now, right? Throughout the season, we've been praising Ten Hag for these substitutions because they've been impacting the game. So I kind of want to lean more on the players letting the team and the manager down rather than the manager making the wrong subs, right? Because we've seen, like, throughout the season, I remember Ten Hag, he would have started with Dalot and Shaw or something, and then he will move Shaw to centre back, and then he'll take off Dalot and he'll put Malacia in the right back, and Malacia will play good, and we will be like, wow, hey, look, Malacia playing on the right back, he good, ting, wherever. It's not Ten Hag fault, right? That Malacia sleeping for the second time he get an opportunity to play, right? To let attackers through. I agree with you with the Weghorst one because that one kind of blew my mind too, right? You had Sabitzer there, which is Weghorst really coming on to offer, right? The Fred, we talk about it. Fred been coming on and doing stuff. So for me to blame Ten Hag for making this substitute, especially considering the man know his team, the load getting to them players, them fellas having minutes in the legs, and all that. Let me be real. That's why I made the statement. Just after we just go sour after hour, right? So Ten Hag know that them fellas and them was starting to drop the levels in terms of the ability to run, and so he had to fix
He had
something.
to do something.
He had to do something.
And then the
throughout
team off
season-
balance heavy too, eh? The team on balance with Dalot on the left back, and you're playing Shaw, Lindelof, the team on balance.
Yeah,
That's
so
what
I,
I'm so
I,
bad.
All that he fighting with now.
yeah, so
But
I
that
think
was so bad. Oh gosh.
I just think
Them little details
is a big
tell
thing.
over 90
Yeah.
minutes.
And I just find it real harsh to blame the manager for the substitutions because let me just say he left. Look, okay, let me go back to the Everton game, right? When Rashford get injured. People was complaining why he didn't take off Rashford.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So we want the man to make changes to, keep players fresh because we have a quick turnaround. Sunday game we playing Aston Villa. So you want to give men rest. You want to make sure you utilize your squad. For me, it's the players. The players. Martial came on. You was expecting, some kind of impact from this player. You ain't getting nothing. Fred, disaster. Right? Weghorst, who? You understand? Malacia, you come and you cost us again because you're sleeping. And then, as Nico say, you move Dalot back to the right hand side, and like a certain level of his awareness just gone. And Son allowed to run behind him and free attempt at goal. So Dread, I hear there, but I feeling for Ten Hag. I can't blame him for them subs, boy, because he had nothing else to do. The team was done struggling even before he made the first substitution, and we was done 2-1, and the momentum was with Spurs. Now, what I can tell you, what I learned, right, is that we can figure out, right? 2-0 leads is not a solid lead for Man United, right? We proved 2 times that we could teams could come back.
Be fragile.
Yeah, we're fragile. We don't have a mental kind of
Yeah,
strength
toughness.
to push through, right? And all our team had to do is stay in the game beyond 60-minute mark. Even at 1-0, even if they're down 1-0,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
stay in that game. And after 60 minutes, Man United is a, well, let's call it something
Pack
for
a
a lamb for slaughter. A lamb for slaughter. Because we just cave. I looking at
Yeah.
how we started clear the ball and we even clear the ball good. We
Yeah,
clear the ball and the ball going in the air right there.
I see Basaka doing some kind of thing at a point in time. I see I keep ballet dancing on the pitch, right? You didn't see that one?
I see it.
I said
I
keep
see
ballet
it.
dancing. Yes, what rubbish is this?
And all these things happen when you're tired. Because them fellas are tired.
Yeah.
So after 60 minutes, and I don't know if Ryan Mason tell he players earlier. All I remember Sevilla. He must have showed them that 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes of Sevilla game in the dressing room halftime. I'm telling you. Alright? This team, or look at Gaddy's team. Them fellas gonna get tired after an hour. Right? That's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned today, right? Let me move away from Man United. You see Harry Kane? Harry Kane started to impact that game when he started to drop deep. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Harry Kane was quiet in that first half. But then Harry Kane come and drop down in the middle of the park and Harry Kane just started to come. The man strong, the man could shield off the ball, the man had touches, the man could pass, and the man could finish. And I guess see Harry Kane taking that ball in the middle of the park and starting to get servicemen. And you have Son running, you have Kulusevski running, and that man just started to dictate the pace from the middle of the park and we couldn't do nothing. We had to get Harry Kane. That's all I'm saying. Right? And that's the two things I learned, fellas. Alright? JP saying here two things not learned but reiterated. Our mentality is still weak and we lack quality and depth. Yeah, reiterated for sure. Cave saying here what I learned more like confirmed. Rashford has me really thinking if we
need a main striker.
Or if we should be focusing on a backup striker. Without even confirming, I can say with confidence, most of Rashid's goals came when he moved centrally, and he's scoring all sorts. All right, that's interesting. So what do you think? Push Rashford centrally and get Mitoma?
Well, we can't get. Can we get Mitoma and Harry Kane?
No. I just saying
I
in
still
case.
think we need Kane, boy.
No,
I play
I
like
just
Kane.
saying-
At least I play like Kane.
Okay. I just said in case, I just say
Kane.
we try and we can get Kane and Ten Hag,
Yeah.
just based on what Cave saying there. We go we push Rashford centrally for good, and we get a left winger.
But
Wait.
because we need goals now. We still need goals off the
A
left.
month ago, on United had a survey about what strikers we will bring to United, and now we here in April, close to the end of April, talking about if we can't get Kane, we go. If we can't get Harry Kane, we're going for Victor. That's what we want. We're going for Victor Os from Napoli. What Mitoma want? I have no problem with Matoma.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but we still need quality in depth in these
We
striking.
need goals. We need goals.
Correct.
But so my gonna give me no goals. You might give
I
me
would say-
a goal
I-
here or
I would
there,
say-
But if
I
you
would
give
say
us
we can get
that man
Victor.
putting ball on a platter for goals, Nico.
yeah, but how much balls when it's gonna play and don't finish?
Nah, but
We
the kind
need-
of chance
we need
creation that
goals.
from that youth man, the kind of chance
Yeah,
creations,
boy.
boy. Yeesh.
Yeah. But we need goals. We need goals in the team. We need 30 goals. We need a player who scores 30 goals in the team.
Yeah. JP saying here, don't see what was wrong with Ten Hag subs. It's the players who let him down. Right. I agree. Cave saying here, can Rashford be the main striker? I think he can. He has added a lot to his game this season. And he's at the perfect age to put it all together and keep pushing forward. And he can still add more to his game. And he's also saying here, Rashford as a striker is something to think about or discuss.
Yeah,
Alright.
agreed.
Yeah. So let me talk about we form away from home now because we have some games to play away still. Alright, and if, as I said before, if we know that we don't have any other route to Champions League and we need to secure We bag in the top four, right? Then we have to improve on our away form. Now, Philly, of course, I stat earlier about how much
Zero,
games we win
zero,
away from.
zero, zero wins in the top nine teams away. Zero
Right.
wins.
So, fellas, why are
Mm-hmm.
we so bad away from home? What you think we could identify or pinpoint? Could we pinpoint anything to say, well, why are we so bad away from home?
Um, I guess as JP would have said, that weak mentality. I think if you had to pinpoint something, um, because you saw that because when the fans started getting to the team and the players had to be motivated by the 12th man more or less, that is when we just cave. So I think and that is more mental than anything else because if you watch the first half of the game today, we had no reason to cave like we did today. But only when Spurs had to come into the game and the fans came into the game that mentally we was on shaky ground now. And to me that way the football changed. So I guess it's getting that elite mentality into the team or more players with that elite mentality. To really carry the rest over the line while the others build that mentality.
Yeah, Simeon?
I mean, I think it's you talk about professional, football players. Like there are things you can do to stop a team when they're going. We don't have that savvy that do the little things to slow a game down, the little things to hold onto a ball, little things to take a little foul here and there. Get a nice little free kick. Like we don't do those things that most veteran teams do to control a game when things start getting crazy. Like we still keep on playing our
Same way,
same
yeah,
old game.
yeah.
So I think it's definitely mentality is definitely there, but I think we lack the tools to weather those kind of storms. I don't know if those professional skills that most teams have to weather those type of runs by other teams.
What are you saying, Phil?
No, I was analyzing how you build a great football team, right? And I think it's to have a philosophy, and that's what Ten Hag has done already. So check. Um, Second part is to, I guess, instill that philosophy into the players you have already. So I mean, another check. Third is to have your home record stellar, and I think Ten Hag has done that. Check. The last two things Ten Hag has to do, in my opinion, to get two more checks from me is to bring in the players that will fit his philosophy as well. One, and two, to establish a good away record. I don't mind having a okay away record, but if I have a great home record, that means things are slowly but surely getting back to where we are, right? So we have a good home record, yes, but in terms of trying to establish a very good away record, that's something that we're going to have to work on for the next couple of seasons. So yeah.
And I
I
think I
mean,
think we home. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I think like a lot of those like games can be more or less like like seen off by having a good midfield that can control the ball. Look at our midfield, like Casemiro. When he's Casemiro, a big body, can move the ball. He could, move the ball in midfield. Then you have Bruno and Ericsson. Like Ericsson is not a physical guy. He can move the ball, but he's not physical, and he's normally off by the 60th, 65th minute. I think you need more guys, more solid guys in the middle that could, hold on to the ball. Not just pass the ball, but hold on to the ball, block off, collect the ball in midfield. Like, I keep saying Martial was the guy to come on, and get the ball and draw a little foul and stuff. Like Martial was mess today, and that's all he had. All he was brought on to do was to hold the ball up and get the plays going. But he's trying to do all kind of nonsense. He want to dribble backwards and do stuff. I'm like, just pass these dudes the simple pass. Like we need guys with skill like Martial, the body of Martial, but that can make the right decisions in those instances, because that's when the game gets rough. People start following, all those 50-50, those challenges that go on that you need to try and win. That's when those happen. Like a lot of times we don't win those balls at the end of games now.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. And I wonder if, like, because we kind of do see games out, right? I don't know if it's a kind of mental kind of block in we mind that after a certain period in the game, we just start to get frightened, right? And we do manage games properly. Because that is part of the problem, because look at there was so many games where we just allow the other team to just take us out of the game now, boy. So if we could just manage games properly, we score when we get a goal, we try to manage the game properly. And I mean, I don't know if it's instructions from Ten Hag, and I don't know if it's probably certain things that Ten Hag probably had to learn as he go along, that you don't have the players to play like how City display. The fella's still working on being clinical, so you can't play games with score lines. You have to more like try to manage games out now, right? And I don't know if there's an issue that the team, unable to kind of grasp. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch that game today, like I was impressed for a bit with the pass. I mean, Tottenham was really pressing hard, but we were passing well, and then the ball gets to this way like Fred, and you just pass the ball to Tottenham players. Like why? It's like like simple stuff like that when you're trying to kill a game off. Just nonsense passing, like you just in these games, teams find the weak link. You always find the weak link. And like one weak link in a team could just, break you down. And it's just we always find those links at United.
Yeah. And like today, you're under pressure. You're 2-1 up. Sometimes, right? I'm just saying sometimes, away from home. Because now I don't know if this is part of Ten Hag's philosophy, right? But I know Fergie used to kind of, sing this. You don't lose your away games and you win your home games, right? No, however you all want to take it, because we didn't lose our away game today. But the point I'm making is, if you're in a winning position, then you protect that lead. Now, some people could interpret it as being too pragmatic, and that is not what I'm saying. But in a situation like this, where you're coming closer to the end of the season, legs tired, then let me manage the game. I just find when Man United playing football, it could be in the 95th minute, right? A man looking to swing the ball down in the next corner to one score goal. And sometimes I just wonder where the IQ is,
Yeah.
Let we joke it here, let we keep the ball, let me try to move it out and kill off the game, right? Win a foul. Let me play clever. And
Everybody wants to see the name up in lights, but everybody wants to see the name up in
and
lights.
they-
When Man
and this
United
what-
win is back page. You know
And
Fred
and
saves
this-
the day.
Yeah.
You know that? Yeah.
And this is what I can't understand with this group, It's like we know. Bruno's an
I will
next one.
always,
Bruno
I
the
will always remember.
Magnifico.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
that.
will,
Yeah,
I
that
will
was
always
cool.
remember. Kevin, it was Man City. It was Man City versus. I don't think it was us. It was somebody else. But Man City were winning 2-love away to some club, probably top 6 or top 7 club, and it came down to it was like maybe 5 minutes to stoppage time, and it was coming down to the 90th minute. Man City got a corner, and when you're leading away from home, we tend to like shield people by the corner flag, right? The smartest thing I've seen not the smartest, but one of the smartest things I've seen Kevin De Bruyne do is he will take the corner short. Whoever he passes it to passes it back to Kevin De Bruyne. You know what Kevin De Bruyne does? He doesn't shield it. He is so accurate at passing that he will kick the ball off of the opposition person's leg and then go for another corner. I saw him do that about 3 or 4 times. I also saw Erling Haaland did it this season. I can't remember who it was, but Erling Haaland was just kicking the ball
So that, yeah.
off of the opposition leg and then going for a corner.
We do
Still,
that.
I think
We do
you
that.
can see.
You're deflating a whole team like that, eh?
You can see that was something that was practiced. That was something that they did in practice, that they enjoy doing, something they know. That's how they win games. That's how you win games, and like it's ingrained in their head. And not just that, they're good. They practice to do it. It's like so amazing that the gap as far as professionalism and in tune and win games that they are ahead of. I mean, we would never do that. Like, I can't see Rashford or let me shut up. Just,
No,
just
but
that,
but
man.
but that's what you want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see the team manage games better, right? So I mean, I as I said before, I don't know if it's Ten Hag or it's just the players on the field, ability to manage the game that need work. The players, I don't know. I just think we don't use that IQ up there at all. I can't believe in the 95th minute you still swinging ball as though you use David Beckham. Come on, man. Let me get some comments here, fellas. Right, Eric saying here, thanks for joining, Eric. He's saying players and Ten Hag at fault. Players for not killing off the game and Ten Hag for poor timing with the subs. This is a major problem and it's happening too often. All right. JP saying here, don't put that pressure on Rashi. We depend on him too heavily as is bring Kane. And I think that's in response to Cave.
We tell Rashi what that pressure. Rashi be what that pressure.
Yeah. Eric saying here, no wins, I believe, away from home against the Big Six. Yeah, that's not right, man. If we want to challenge up there, we gotta be doing better than that, boy. Kaden saying here, Rashford not clinical enough to play on top. He ain't number 9. I've seen him for years.
What's up?
Not this season. Not this season.
No, but he got 3 chances to score one, Phil. 3 good chances he got.
I remember that. I remember.
Yeah.
But still, he wasn't bad today.
No, he wasn't bad. I think to pull out, the only player I could already pull out today as having a real poor performance was Fred. All right, and then Malacia, but everybody else was bad.
Yeah.
In the second half, that is. All right. Okay, so I don't know if you're responding to another comment there. All right, Darren on the inside, thanks for joining. He's saying confidence lacking away from home, and we somehow still can't close out games. Yeah, right? And that is a mental thing, especially when you see it tired. Because the opposition is smell that.
Yeah.
All right. JP saying here, we're still not using and controlling the ball well enough. Everything is still very rushed, right? And we were just saying that, Just the point is to score, but not every play has to be about scoring. It makes complete sense there. All right. Kristen on the inside, thanks for joining, man. He's saying this side is toots with or without Maguire. Oh, Lord. Keep saying here, Kareem shaking on the inside when Senior mentioned Bass. No. I can't defend performances like this today, buddy. At the end of the day, it's Manchester United first. All right. Eric saying here, you all heard Garnacho wants to play for Argentina in the under 20 World Cup instead of United. Yeah, I read something like that. I mean, yeah. Jody saying here, blessed night to you. He saying, so I really feel all the finishing top 4.
Yes, we finishing in top 4. We
We
have 4 games. We have 4 games home, 3 games away. Yeah, you finishing in top 4.
Well, Joe, are you serious? I mean, we can finish.
That's the new reverse psychology now. That's what Jody getting.
But Newcastle still got a draw with Arsenal. And Newcastle, I think, got a harder running than us, I think.
Yeah, but
4 games
the problem with that, Phil, is Tottenham was definitely taken, and so I don't know how to watch the rest of fixtures for me because
Newcastle was there for the taking at Old Trafford as well too. But these things happen under a new manager. I don't mind.
I still feel if Central FC show up to them will get a result against United sometime by
Yeah.
God by
Me home
Yeah,
form
you'll
will
see.
take us over the line. Our
yeah.
home form should drag us over the line.
You'll see. Lindelof foul against the Kane. He
Yeah,
foul.
the
And the
second
other
foul.
side, yeah. I was like, what are you doing? What are you
Now
doing there?
here I telling you that referee
Nah.
say them fellas on there he can't handle Maguire.
I
Don't know
saw,
Maguire.
I saw some. I don't know if you guys saw it prior to the game when the guys were in the tunnel, right? But I saw Rashford went up to greet Kane, and Kane just looked at him and looked off, just like hey, what's going on, and then looked off, right? That for some reason that don't sit right with me. I
It
know,
could be
like
it could
for example, if obviously it's like opposition players from the same country, for example, Casemiro from Brazil will go and shake Richarlison's hand, or Gabriel Jesus' hand for Arsenal. Bruno, the same thing when he's playing against Wolves with Ruben Neves and Portland. Those guys will shake each other's hand. Even Casemiro will shake Alisson's hand from Liverpool. But for some reason, when I saw Rashford and Kane went to greet each other, Kane was like, "Yeah," and then started
Kane smart.
to. For some reason,
Kane smart.
that don't sit right with me in terms of us going for Harry Kane. That's what I mean, right? But
Nah,
you never know. You never know. I could be over exaggerating, but
Kane smart. I mean, Kane ain't
It's
want to get
mad.
more booze.
Yeah, Kane don't know where you coming. We want to go already. So you want to sell out too much. So you just say, hey, let me don't make it too personal now because I might look coming. Yeah, that's right. They say, we have a bad game here and I think it is sell out. I selling out to United because I want to play Champions League football next season.
I'm
Yeah,
buying that, but I ain't buying that.
No, but here what I'm saying, right? We have to make sure as much as possible that Tottenham do not make Champions League, right? And we know what this point do for them, right? Because anything that Daniel Levy and Spurs could offer Kane to keep him there, they will try. And Champions League is still a prize, especially if they bring in a decent manager. So we were supposed to beat them today just to make sure that they have that hope dead by.
Yeah.
Anyway, it behind we
I mean-
once we qualify, right? Here now, I'll bring back Maguire in the starting lineup for Villa.
See that's the thing, like that. It talk about like what is this game meant. Like a lot of times when we lose or we draw, who's come back the next game? Maguire. A lot of times when we don't get the result we want, who has come back? Maguire. So that you gotta think about that. I mean, I want to see it, but I don't know how much Ten Hag can keep Maguire on the team.
Me, at least that's the back make too much of mistakes, to be honest. Other than Lindelof, I get sent off, but I find Lindelof and Shaw again next game, man. At home,
Yeah.
I feel they'll do well at home. Better than away. And it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad today.
Actually,
Yeah,
Shaw
right.
was superb first half. Shaw was
Actually,
covering,
Yeah,
I just
real
find
good.
we started get confused and mix up on things second half. I don't know what happened, boy. Don't know what happened. It was all about the place.
Pressure.
And when men tired too now, boy, they doesn't want to do the extra little thing now, that okay, yeah. Anyway, so fellas, we're looking ahead to Aston Villa on Sunday. Alright. They're flying high under Emery, they're getting results, they're looking good. They're playing some good football. Right? How are they feeling about, that game? What are they think we could expect from Villa? And what changes to the lineup are they going to make from today's lineup?
Martial can come back in. Right, I think, Martial can come back in.
For who?
Oh, for who? Sancho scored today.
I ain't changing the lineup today.
You can see lineup today.
No. The same lineup from Casemiro and up starting. If you want to put Shaw at left back and Maguire at centre back, then we got a problem.
Nah.
I can't deal with that.
When Watkins and them fellas see Maguire, they know it is food, boy. Like confidence gone. Like them fellas confidence shoot to the roof. They can't see Maguire there. Who boy?
Exactly.
Only because Sancho score, eh? Only because Sancho score, but
Yeah.
just Sancho could get dropped, or
Well, listen,
even even
people,
Anthony, even and drop Anthony and play Rashford on the or
Here why
Rashford on the right.
no here why I say that. Here why I
So
say that.
Rashford had some good games on the right, eh? Coming off the right
Yeah.
this season, eh?
No, but here I say that today, Anthony, many pick it up. Anthony was real poor today. Anthony,
That was
let me
what
tell
was,
today.
you,
yeah.
let me tell you where save Anthony. You see, he defensive contribution. You see
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
That is
but
save here now. But that
yeah.
man, here what I say now,
Just
and
spotted it.
cave,
Just spotted it. That was
cave,
it. He could Rashford
yeah.
could go on the right
Or
and
even
play
Sancho
Marshall
for
on.
going right.
What
But here
came,
what I
what
say,
came,
right?
Go on
what
here.
came saying,
Cave, Cave that said so. He put it so well. The last time he said, anytime you only have 1 foot, that foot will be like a one.
Yeah.
Right? And Anthony, that one, this work. Yeah, like when you have a one and you're trying to think as point one, and then hit it, you gotta keep hitting and trying back. It's like this man so believing in that left foot, and the left foot though. Why it is you always opting to shoot with the left foot and as a power up off thing?
Yeah.
Be
exactly.
sure now. Be sure now. Sometimes you will give up a proper pass, and we see it happen in the FA Cup semi-finals. You will sacrifice a good pass to hit a power up for the keeper to walk and pick up.
Boy, Anthony, next season, your left foot better be like Robin, Bale,
Nah,
Van
you.
Persie.
I
You
haven't
gotta
some
work
faith
on
in
that.
Anthony, eh?
Definitely
No,
not, boy.
I haven't some faith in Anthony next season.
No,
Sorry.
me, I don't see what that's in. But you gotta work on that.
Yeah.
If that's your signature move, and I hear when Ten Hag say, people knew Robin, but still couldn't stop him. But Robin, that was a one.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
When
I mean,
Robin swing that foot, you know that keeper had to pull a save.
Anthony can come up
no,
and he can come up to that level.
here now. We the thing is with Manchester United fans, we just had Greenwood on that side. We had
I think
Greenwood
Greenwood was
on that
bitter.
side.
Greenwood was real bitter.
Greenwood had we had. I mean, we had Greenwood. We that money spent on Anthony is hard pill to swallow. To watch Anthony do that, take those shots. That left foot shot. When you have Greenwood, when you get to Greenwood, and Greenwood wasn't a powder puff,
Nah, he
shot
rock
he
it.
was taking.
Well, I mean, when Ten Hag was leaving Ajax, I can sense maybe at least 2 or 3 players he would have brought across, and it just happened we got the Sandro Martinez and Anthony, right? So even if Greenwood was still in the side, I could have still seen Anthony coming over, right? So
But I still feel Greenwood would have pushed Anthony.
oh
I
yeah,
telling
oh
you,
yeah,
cause you see
oh yeah,
Greenwood on
Yeah.
that left hand, that right hand side with 2 foot.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Nah, boy, Greenwood would have be problems, boy. For all I know, we can see Greenwood play through the middle as well.
Boy,
You understand?
I keep in tabs on what's going to happen because AC Milan, for some reason, is interested in him, right? So,
Okay.
I don't think I'm selling him. I go loan him and see what we learn from there because that man's quality, boy. Um, who went just now with the thoughts
I
on
went.
right? So
Yeah.
which is Simeon, Villa.
Nah, I'm worried, man. I ain't gonna sugar. I ain't gonna, put no sugar, coating on it. I'm worried. I know that coach. I mean, it's a serious team. I mean, a well drilled team. I think he knows how to play. How to play us. I think you're gonna see more pressure on the ball. Unlike Tottenham, was more sit back. I think you'll see more pressure on the ball. Um, I think they have more. Whew, like who
Confident.
they have
I think they're a confident bunch at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're more well drilled and more mentally locked in than we are right now. The issue is I don't know if they're gonna finish. I looked at Kane and Son, and they didn't really finish well today. But it might come down to who takes their chances better. And right now, we're not taking our chances too well. I mean, we scored 2 goals today, but we ain't really scoring like we're supposed to be scoring. So it might come down to who takes their chances better. So
Just and yeah, so just remember that Villa beat Newcastle. Could you feel?
Yeah, I was just about to mention that because Unai Emery has instilled a new set of confidence into this team. Took them from relegation to now, guys, we can literally get Champions League football if we play our heart out, right? So this is this is a rejuvenated Aston Villa. Unai Emery knows how to beat Manchester United. Take that into consideration, okay? I think Unai Emery's first game, didn't he beat Manchester United?
Yeah, but we beat Mark in the second one.
True, but still, Unai Emery still knows how to get a result versus Manchester United. The same thing he could have told his Villarreal, and he was coaching Sevilla as well. Right? He wasn't.
Sevilla.
It was just Villarreal, right?
Yeah, Villarreal, Arsenal,
Mm.
and then when he went back to Villarreal, and
Anyway, we know that he knows how to get a result versus Manchester United. So the same thing he probably told players back at his Villarreal days, he'll probably tell the Aston Villa players as well too, right? If Aston Villa go 1 up, it's probably going to be the most frustrating football match for a Manchester United fan. Trust,
yeah, because sometimes when
yeah.
we just drop down to the
Yeah.
ground, you know. I
And
mean, I
it don't help that we got to play against a trash talker by the name of Emmy Martinez. Oh Lord, you know, if we go 1 up, that man is going to waste time. Waste time. He's the Argentina Jordan Pickford, right?
he
But
better than that by far, man.
oh yeah, but I mean, in terms of like being a time waster and a trash talker as well too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The only not really saving grace, but I mean, they got Tyrone Mings in their backline, so he bounds to make at least 3 or 4 mistakes in the first half. So we got to capitalize on those mistakes.
Capitalize on that. Yeah, I fancy us to start well. We starting strong of recent, but we pittine out, and that is the concern for me, right? And as I mentioned before, is something easy for teams to kind of to plan for now. Remain tight, resolute, try not to concede. And after the hour mark, after 65 minutes, then start to put pressure on Man United. If it means lumping the ball in the box, because we go start to panic, we go start to make mistakes, we go start to make poor decisions, and then you can expect the goal to come. So that's my only thing. If we could let's say with starting strong, we put Villa to the sword like how we do it today, and attempt in whatever way we could to manage out the game, I think we will get a good result. And then we've been very, very strong at home. So I think that is something that's working for us as well. So that's my approach it, and to go back to the starting lineup, yeah, I Sancho making way for Martial for me. All right.
Sancho.
Yeah, Sancho making way for Martial for me. Sancho, because when Ten Hag was asked as to why he say he had to manage, you had to remember he had to manage Marcel minutes, manage the load. He played 3 games on the bounce, and then he did say Sancho, had a good cameo against Brighton. So
Yeah.
I think he'll revert and Sancho will come on to try to impact the game, right? So that's why that's why I think it'll work out. So yeah. So well, let me look to rapid fellas. Jody saying here, boy, we go down to Rennes Villa. See that kind of talk by Jody, boy, that kind of arrogance.
You could type that with a keyboard on the screen, man. When you on the panel, it's different, man. Come on.
Yeah.
But I like the confidence, though.
Yeah, Kaden said you all still. Yeah, Kaden, we will talk about the takeover. We have a show for that. Whenever we go decide when we go. If it happens before the end of the season, we will definitely have a show catering to it. But if not, we will have a segment, for that. All right. So you saying here he went back Sevilla and beat us in the Europa League finals.
We never faced Sevilla
No.
in the Europa League final. It's only
In the
Villarreal.
semi-finals
Semi-finals, maybe.
and
No, but
Lopetegui was
the final when we played, that was
Villarreal.
Villarreal, he
No,
played.
That
Yeah,
was
was
Villarreal.
Villarreal.
yeah, and he was the
That's
coach.
when
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cavani. That's when Cavani scored and De Gea missed the 10th penalty.
yeah, yeah. But when Sevilla, we lost to Sevilla in the Europa League semis, and
Semi.
Lopetegui was the coach for that. Right, so I don't think Emery ever coached Sevilla. JP saying I go in that game with no expectations because I really don't know what to expect. From who? From Villa or from we?
From us.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, it was nice. Nico, Fabian,
Yeah, man.
Phil, thanks for coming on. Guys in the comments, we do appreciate, your continued support, and commitment to All in All United and the content. All right. We could be here again on Sunday.
But we ain't done
Let's
yet. We
hope.
are not. We are not done yet because there was a match that took place yesterday that the whole world was watching. We are not done
Yeah.
yet. Give us maybe 5 more minutes, just 5. There was a match
Go
yesterday that
through.
took
Go
place.
through.
A match yesterday that took place at 3 o'clock my time. Probably 3 o'clock your time.
Yes.
But leading up to the match, there was a lot of talk about we're out of Europa League and we have bigger fish to fry, and all of a sudden it came down to a draw versus Liverpool, a draw versus West Ham. Almost got their asses handed to them by Sunderland. I mean, not Sunderland,
Southampton.
Southampton. And now they're saying, you know what? Mathematically, it is not over, but we can go to the Etihad and win. And lo and behold, within
Mm.
Cream.
within six
Cream.
minutes, a fella by the name of KDB slopped it home to One Love. And everything was going downhill from there. But let me fast forward to the fourth goal by Erling Haaland. This guy undo his hair bun and look like Fabio the model. This guy look like this guy like a horse. This guy like a horse with a brand new mane that just got combed. Oh my lord! This guy running around like I don't know. But then it's all you Arsenal fans that talking about, oh, we have a young squad, and this young squad is chasing this juggernaut of a monster called Manchester City. No, you're not ready. You are definitely not ready. Don't talk about, oh, we exiting Europa League was a blessing in disguise, and we can go to Etihad and get result. We had the best away record in the league. Before that Manchester City game, Arsenal had a better defensive record than Manchester United. After that game, Manchester United had conceded 37 goals, Arsenal 38. And y'all talking about Aaron Ramsdale supposed to be England number one. Behave. Behave, behave, behave. Anyway, I will leave it on this here because I will say this right now. You guys do not win the Premier League, Arsenal and Arsenal fans. I'm coming for you. I'm cooking, I'm roasting, I'm barbecuing, I'm baking, I'm rotisserieing, okay? You guys are the biggest bottle jobs. Biggest bottle jobs. One bottle, two bottle, three bottle, four bottle. You guys are the biggest bottle jobs. And if May comes and you are not lifting that Premier League title, I gotta ask y'all one question. Us that probably gonna come in top four and the Carabao Cup, who had the better season? And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, that could be a very very good discussion, or something to debate. But just to add on what you're saying there, Phil, before we wrap it, I was hearing some Arsenal fans, before, talking about title challenge and they're going to win the league and this point gap to now, they're looking at how much they progressed under Arteta. They don't realize, well, hey, this team looking like it
Yeah.
got,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
foregone conclusion.
There's such a conversation now.
Yeah, so it's like we've improved. We this guy, and we've
The
consistently been
goal, the
challenging for
goal, the
titles
goal was
now.
the goal was always Champions League football.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
want to finish in the top four. I want to finish in the top four.
You think if
Yeah.
Ten Hag goes at the top of the league come next year, he gonna say that he gonna make those BS excuses? Behave,
Yeah,
behave,
yeah.
behave, behave. I don't care if Arsenal finish second and we finish third. You can finish second, by 100 points ahead of Manchester United. It don't make a difference. They can still say second and third. Carabao
Yeah.
Cup in our hand, and you are going trophyless like Chelsea and Liverpool. Also, Chelsea fans, you are 10 points from relegation, okay? And Frank Lampard is doing a wonderful job. Lord Todd Bowley, do not sack Lampard before we're gonna play them, okay?
That,
Thank you very much, boy.
no, that the agenda and United
Yeah.
coming in a bad
Yeah.
form. Yeah, let
Yeah.
me fire whoever it have the
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
yeah, top up them fellas and them fellas
You
coming
see,
motivated.
you see what Keaton said? Arsenal was on top for 93% of the season. No team in the history of winning the Premier League has been on top for this long and not gone
Gosh,
on
boy.
to win the Premier League. Okay? Biggest
Yeah.
bottle jobs. I hope Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Hulu bring out a documentary on this here. And I will replay it and replay it and replay it. Okay? I'm done.
Yeah. Let's just get these comments and wrap it up, guys. Peter Banker on the inside. Thanks for joining, Peter. You said good night. I know I'm late. Catch you next time for sure. We'll be here on Sunday for the Aston Villa game. All right. Jody saying here, tell them fellas feel those flying fish. They know we don't fry Phil. Eric Lewis saying here, we need to do what we can to stop City from winning the treble. Can't rely on bottling Arsenal. Yeah, but I ain't even sure if this FA Cup final where we played like 200 now.
I know, true. But we also got to talk to Real Madrid as well, too. But different story for a different time.
Diane on the inside. Diane Cameron, thanks for joining. Good night. She saying felt like a loss. Great first half, disaster in the second. Lack of concentration.
Yep.
Yeah. Peter saying here, Arsenal will always be a flop. I mean, this is one time I was really hoping that they wouldn't flop, because I don't want to see City do that trouble, but let me see. So fellas, it was nice. Again, it was nice. In spite of the whatever happened in the second half, we can still come here and talk Man United and have a good time. So guys, have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. YouTube, Facebook. Get the content out there. Let people know about All in All United. We appreciate it. Have a good night, everybody. See you on the next one.
Good night.
Later.